Nice little spot to take a breather. Again, I found another nook with a little redwoods and looks like a creek or a stream. And then it goes into Benicia Lake, which, okay, I'm just going to preface with I was born in Minnesota, and that's not really what I would call a lake. It's more like a dilapidated pond, but you know, it's California. Here's my analogy. Is Minnesotans think that a little hill is a mountain because we don't have very many of them out there. And here, since we don't have a lot of lakes in California, a tiny little pond is a lake. Oh, look at that. Can you tell what that is? Fire damage. There's been, ooh, I heard a predatory bird in the distance. I think it was a hawk. I don't know if you heard it. The microphone on this new phone is pretty sensitive. We'll see. We'll just go down here a little bit, and then I think this will be the last video up here. You know, these videos can get kind of redundant, so I try to find unique little spots or things of interest. I know a lot of people like talking, and I do try to speak in the videos to keep things moving along. But what I personally like is that ambient noise. And I do make a lot of videos on my YouTube channel, which I call Atlantean Oak Adventures, which you could call this an Atlantean Oak Adventure. It's basically my excursions in nature. And what I like best is making these films where I'll just keep the camera totally still, and no noise from me, and I'll just pick up the ambient sounds, like you can hear the water rustling, squirrels, you know, all those little things I think that we take for granted. It can be a little boring, but I think that's sort of the point, is we're so overstimulated as modern humans. It's good to just take a moment and get back to nature, relax, meditate, be silent. Yeah, let's get a little view. See, there's a nice little area where you can hang out, and if you've got lunch, you can do a little lunch. I had an enormous protein-rich breakfast, so I'm good for quite a while. Which, in my opinion, is best. If you're going to go on a good excursion and you don't get enough calories, it can be, you know, you get lightheaded, you're weaker, you're not going to try as hard. You're not going to get as good of a workout. At least that's my take on it. If you were to ask me of my many interests and hobbies, what do I like the best? This. And I love people, but I like it best alone. When you develop a certain attunement with nature, other people are not always as in tune. And obviously we want to chat when we're hanging out together. But you miss a lot when you're talking all the time, you miss a lot. So watching videos may be fun, to have narration and learn things and get somebody else's experience. But I would highly recommend creating your own experience with it. And try doing it alone once in a while, if you're brave enough. There's very little danger in these situations. At least where I am, the only danger is mountain lion, rattlesnakes, black widows. But black widows hide, you know, they're not just on the trail ready to pounce on you. That's just not their nature. If you understand the nature of things, you can be a little more confident and free. I can show you this film, but I can't explain to you how wonderful and peaceful just this little moment is for me. Even though I'm making a video and talking, even more because I'm walking around and I'm looking at things I probably would just overlook and just keep going.